Equities just off session lows right now, giving back just about a portion of yesterday's gains. Our next guest says yesterday's big rally confirmed the Trump put is back. Tom Lee, Fundstrat Global Advisors co-founder, managing partner, and head of research, joins us here at Post 9. Tom, good to see you. We were in search of perhaps some kind of a floor level of a Trump put. Maybe we got there. I guess, first of all, let's go to what history says about these extreme type market conditions, right? We saw very, very rare levels of forced liquidation, washout conditions Friday, Monday, set the scene for the kind of forced buying, panic buying in a sense yesterday. But where does that leave us? Because a lot of those huge one-day rallies have happened in bear markets.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, investors, I think, were fearful we were being pushed into the abyss of a depression. And there's a lot of technical damage that isn't necessarily fixed by just having a one-day rally. So I think that investors are understandably cautious. But one thing that my friend Tom DeMark likes to call is washed out markets. Yep. And I think some things really got washed out, and that's what we're going to keep an eye on. I think it's actually kind of constructive. Like the Teslas and the Mag 7, they basically bottomed on Monday. Yeah. And so even though the markets were plumbing new lows into Wednesday, they were holding up, and they've made a big move. So I think there's an argument to me that high beta and the Mag 7 are what you want to watch. And I'm kind of in the camp that this is going to extend further, the rally.
So, I mean, you were bullish going into this whole thing, right?
Yes.
I think everybody did not expect it to be so severe. After yesterday, how much changes fundamentally around your bullishness? Because it's great that he paused on all the other countries, but as we mentioned, we are still going to have to face a lot of tariffs, and that could hurt growth. Yeah,
I think the upside case for stocks is impaired, right? Because the Fed has made clear during the midst of this that the Fed put, it really isn't in play until they have a better idea of inflation. I mean, we just heard that again. So I think markets then have to depend on fundamentals, and then a policy path from the White House that they can't necessarily depend on. So I think markets are going to put a bigger risk.
But can they depend on it? I mean, the White House did make it clear that they would be flexible if things really started to get shaky.
Yes, but at the end of the day, I think companies aren't going to get hit as hard as we initially thought. For instance, even looking at these revised tariff rates, to me, there's still the ceiling. So even if this is what's in place now for 90 days, I think there's a chance things could still improve from there. And, of course, it could be better for U.S. companies, and there could be concessions made for U.S. businesses. So do I think stocks, do I think stocks are an easy road from here? No, I think it's going to be very challenging. But, again, I think so many things got washed out. I think the Mag 7 especially, that's where you're going to find opportunity.
You do. All right, the Fed put may not be there, but what about the Trump put? Is it back?
It's in the bond market.
And can you rely on it?
Well, it's got a different variation, right? Because it is driven by instinct. So there's not a level that's going to make a difference, or how close to recession do we get? So
we don't have a handle on the reaction function, as we would say with the Fed. Yeah,
that's right. It's like it's a blunt instrument that we don't know where it strikes.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I know U.S. companies are going to be very innovative. I mean, for instance, if they have higher import costs, they're not just going to pay higher import costs. They're going to be very innovative on cutting costs, which just means AI spending should be a lot higher and automation spending. So, I mean, it's actually good for tech over the next 12 months.
We could see a reduction in employment, though, right?
Yeah. I'd say, that also, again, acts as a stabilizer, because to the extent that Main Street jobs get lost, I'm not sure then we can say that these policies are good for Main Street.